Thank you. Good evening, club.
Good evening.
When I say recycling, what do you think of?
Bottles.
Okay.
Water.
Water?
Bottles.
Someone said water? Oh, water
Aluminum
bottles.
cans.
Okay.
Money.
Anything else? Money?
Americans.
You get money from recycling? Is that it? Yeah. And that's one thing about this economy is that I've noticed when I carry mail is that I see a lot more people out there going through other people's trash, trying to find the recyclables, and that's not the only reason though. I mean, what are some reasons why we should recycle? Anyone?
Good for the environment.
Right. Because we only have so much space in landfills, right? And something that occurred to me when I was doing research for this is that, you know, we have so many landfills here in every country in the world, and they're old. They've been around for centuries. And, you know, we have people who have to go find their livelihood in the landfills by trying to take things out and recycle when, you know, I feel like that could be avoided because people could just donate these things to the right places to begin with, and then we wouldn't have to have people going and scavenging in the landfills. And I just brought a few things with me. Now there's 3 categories of recycling that I'm thinking of, and let's see, the first one I guess is like the one that most of you named is like recycling bottles and cans. And to me that's the most boring one. The other 2, I say boring but necessary. The other 2 are okay, like our food waste, food scraps and things like this can go into compost and they can help beautify your yard or your garden. And I feel like this is one that is more fun because, you know, I like gardening. And the other one is giving new life to items that we might throw into the trash, like this coffee container. See, I could wrap this with paper and bake some cookies and put it in there, which I washed this out good right away and dried it, and so I could bake some cookies and put it in here and make it a gift. And this little milk carton, you know, these things could be used for children's crafts or things like that. That's another way to give a second life. Now, the Oxford English Dictionary defines recycle as to convert waste into reusable material and to use again. And so now this recycling, the plastic, glass, and the aluminum, I said it's a little more boring, but it's more necessary because these things are not biodegradable. They don't break down, and so it's even more important that we don't put all this into the landfills because it's just going to fill it up faster. And these bottles, for instance, because of the law that was passed that puts the deposit on here, it's already been paid by you at the cash register, but, you know, so if you just throw this away, you're throwing away 5 cents. And some of us, like me, I'm very busy, I don't have like a lot of time, so I don't always want to go into the recycler because to save these things up at home, you need to have separate bins, you need to keep them clean. So your bins ideally would have lids on them. And these things, like green bottles, cannot be usually recycled with clear ones, and brown, sometimes everything has to be separated. Even the codes and things on the bottom can, like milk jugs would be a different category than water bottles. So that can take a lot of time, and you can end up spending your time and gas to go to the recycler. Maybe you'll get $5 or $6. You know, to me, it makes more sense because there are so many people going around looking for recyclables because they are having a hard time in this economy. So what I do is I actually take these and put them in a separate trash can, and I always make a habit of rinsing them as soon as we're finished with them. put them out in a separate waste can next to my trash, and someone always comes and takes it. So I have a few statistics for you. Now, these are from Wikipedia. 251 million tons of trash in the United States. 53.4% of all paper products are recycled in the United States. And 32.5% of total waste that is recycled in the United States. It says also, which is kind of surprising, 4.6 pounds of trash per person per day in the United States. Okay. There's been a few kind of encouraging things I learned from the research I did. And I learned this from Conservation Magazine on the internet, and I do have the website for that. It's www.conservationmagazine.org. So there was an article written by Lori Brown, published May 19th, 2010, saying we could replace petroleum if 6.5% of Americans had this. And what it is they call it BioGrow, which is actually grows algae, and it can convert this algae into fuel. And there was another idea for solar-powered trash cans with a battery in it. It has a compactor, so it's like a trash compactor, but there's a battery that transmits to the trash pickup when it's full, so they don't waste trips and waste fuel going around to pick this up. And so I'm out of time, and I just want to say that this is important because, you know, God created Adam and Eve in a beautiful Garden of Eden, and He told them to dress and keep it, and He also said to us that we should be good stewards of all